You're watching Good Boy Feast. You're watching Good Boy Feast. Fighting just to save our lives. Got you laughing every night.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back. I'm taking this horse. I'm trying to go somewhere. I keep forgetting they can't fit out of one wide. So this is kind of annoying.
They can't
He's gonna
fit
take.
out of one spaces?
No, they have to do 2 wide gates. Otherwise you have to jump, which is fine, but they take damage when you jump into the ceiling. Like with the height we have the ceiling.
No, I see.
Kind of annoying. I'm gonna go look for a lava source because I want to make some obsidian. And I know there's one around here somewhere.
Yeah, there's
I
some
can
that way.
traverse more land.
I don't think that pigs.
Oh, the sun's going down.
It is. I don't think pigs eat weed, man.
I don't think pigs eat carrots though.
I don't think it's weed.
Chickens eat seeds. Cows eat wheat.
Sheeps eat wheat.
Pigs gotta eat wheat, man. Hey, why is this zombie? Why are you in here, zombie?
Yeah, it's not lit up well enough. In some of these spots. I need some glowstone so it doesn't look so ugly when I light it up.
Okay. Off this horse. So, do you have insurance?
Like hell.
Or have you ever had, insurance through your job?
Yeah.
Have you ever had your family on your insurance through your job? I'm in a bed, by the way.
Yes. Okay, I'll come to bed. Yes, I have.
Did you get it when you started your company, or did you like do it at some point throughout your
Whenever I
time with the
worked,
company?
like in Fayetteville for another company, I had Crystal on my insurance. This is before I had a kid.
But this is when you started your company or started working
this
there.
This was when I worked for someone else in Fayetteville.
Dude, my horse is gone.
He's right there.
I jumped. Where? I don't know where you went. Oh, he wandered in here. I jumped off of him and I was like, oh, he's gone. He left. I went to sleep and he was like, fuck this guy. How about? So I've always had insurance for myself when I started the company. My wife's always had insurance for herself when she started the company. When we had our son, we decided that she would carry the insurance for him because she had better insurance than I could get for the child. She recently took on a new job, and her new job has really shitty insurance. So I said, okay, this is a life event that qualifies me to like redo my insurance through a non-open enrollment period.
Uh-huh.
I'll put the whole family under my insurance. So I talked to the guy who runs the insurance program at my company for like 4 or 5 different times because I was so concerned about fucking something up and doing something wrong to whereas like nobody had insurance anymore.
Right.
We not only were going to switch insurances to everybody under my name, but there's a village like right next to us.
Oh, it's cleaned out the insurance guy? Yeah, you picked all the food from that village.
Yeah, I forgot that was the one close. Here is this is not a lava pool.
No, that's some lava I poured out.
It is literally
there's the ravine.
I was like, this is weird.
There is a volcano near that. There's lava near that there. There's a lava pool near there.
So I finally got it all figured out. Not only were we switching insurances for the family, but I'm switching from like a Blue Cross plan to a Kaiser plan because my wife really wanted to keep this Kaiser plan that she had with her and the baby, and she likes the pediatrician. She's got some things going on that she wants to be able to carry through. So it made it so I have to also switch over to Kaiser in order to bring the family onto a Kaiser plan together, which is kind of shitty because I don't want that plan. But we switch over the insurance based on all the information my insurance guy tells me I'm supposed to do. Here it is. I found it. Hold on. 2063 negative 3936. I said it. People know it. We will find it. So I submit the life event. I go to submit the life event. The date that my wife, like her insurance changes so that I can get everything in line and ready to go to get everybody switched over. I get an error in the system that you can't submit a future date.
Okay.
So I'm not allowed to submit a life event in the future, even though I know this life event happened. And I confirm with the guy that it's the date that, the insurance coverage finally lapses. That is the date of the life event. I'm not allowed to pre-do this. So I'm talking to the guy, and I say, look, I'm concerned if you won't let me put in this information in the first place before the event, that something's going to happen. I'm going to forget to put in this life event. We're not going to have insurance anymore. And he's like, don't worry about it. You have 30 days to put in the life event, but make sure that you do it as soon as possible because insurance coverage will take over the next day that you put it in. And if your wife's insurance has lapsed, you want to make sure that, you get the insurance coverage, started as soon as possible. I said, okay, fine. I'll deal with this that you tell me that I have to do. So I wait, and it was October 3rd was the official day that her insurance coverage lapsed. Like, she had to call her company and find out, get all the stuff, all these details worked out. I submit the life event on October 3rd. Get everything done, push it all through. I pre-planned this, get it all finished, submit everything. I have all this insurance plan ready to go for the family. She goes to an appointment 2 weeks later, which is like a week ago now. She doesn't have insurance.
What happened?
It doesn't take effect until November 1.
Why? Because you did. It was like a what? Because isn't there? What the fuck's it called? Where there's a
COBRA. COBRA. You have to pay for COBRA. It costs like $450 to pay for COBRA. Had her insurance ended on September 30th, we would have instantly have coverage on October 1st. But it always takes over on the first day of the next month.
Wait, is COBRA something you pay by the month?
Yes. COBRA you pay by the month.
So you're telling
COBRA's
me I'm
like
paying $400 a month for that?
I mean, I don't know what your COBRA is. Well, COBRA, you can only do COBRA for like 6 months total. So COBRA is just one of those things that's there to help you extend your coverage. Like if you lost your job randomly, if somebody fired you,
right,
you can't guarantee the next time you're going to have employer covered insurance. So you can pay for COBRA out of pocket to extend your current insurance coverage until you can get coverage by
you could have
a new job or employer or something. She could have paid for COBRA. I could because it was through her insurance. Well, her insurance lapsed. Mine didn't, and this is apparently just the way that it is since it ended on October 30th, they just won't give her insurance until November 1st. So had her insurance, like I said, ended on September 30th, she would have been covered the full time because they would have just started it at the 1st of October.
Right.
But since it was any time in October, they won't cover you until November 1. So somehow, because insurance lasted longer, we have no coverage currently.
That's really shitty.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely shitty and dumb. It's what on earth does that change for the insurance company if I would have ended on 9/30 and you would have given me coverage on 10/1 without batting an eye of it? I end on 10/3, so you're gonna wait 27 days before you give me coverage now?
See, I didn't think that worked like that. Obviously it does since you're dealing with it.
I didn't either. And the guy on the benefits guy told me it didn't. And it's funny because when I found this out and when they told her that, no, your insurance doesn't take place until 11/1, and this is the Kaiser people talking, I called the guy back and he's like, no. I absolutely would not have told you it takes place the next day because I know it doesn't take place at the beginning of the next month. And I was like, dude, I called you 4 fucking times because I was worried about this exact scenario. This is the scenario I described to you, is that I didn't want to ever go my wife and my son without insurance.
Right.
And you told me this is exactly how I'm supposed to do it, how it will seamlessly transition if I put it in on the exact day of the life event, that it will completely take over the very next day. No. I I never said that. I'm like, I would not have called you 4 times if that's not the conversation we had.
So what were you supposed to do?
Nothing. There's nothing I could have done. I should have had my wife purchase COBRA through her employer before her insurance lapsed.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And granted, I think she can still do it proactive or retroactively, but it's one of those things. It's like, you're gonna make me purchase COBRA
Right.
when you would have just seamlessly done it without any extra money if it happened to be end 3 days previous.
Yeah, I mean, it's really dumb. Why is it like that?
I don't know. I
doctor.
think insurance is fucked up, man. I ain't a doctor. And even if I was a doctor, I wouldn't be a doctor of insurance.
Doctor of insurance.
Fuck insurance, man. America's terrible for healthcare and insurance and things like that. We are the worst country in the nation.
We are the worst country.
We're the
in
worst
the nation.
country in the nation.
I want that on a shirt.
We are the worst country in the nation, and I will. That is a thing I can say that's factual. We are the worst country in the nation. We're also the best country in the nation, but except for that fucking like Puerto Rico. That the president of Puerto Rico needs to learn a thing or two.
Puerto Rico's the worst country in the nation.
Yes, but yeah, I've being a married man, having to deal with all this stuff. It's just so much more hassle than I ever thought this stuff should ever be.
Yeah, but you get tax cuts and all kind of tax breaks too.
But right now we still got 11 days left that I'm sitting here concerned. Like, what if something happens to my son right now?
Well, he's covered, right?
No.
All right.
No.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. We could buy this COBRA, but at this point, now that we realize this and there's to go, is it one of those ones, do we just risk it and go for 11 days and not spend $500?
No.
To get coverage through COBRA?
I don't think you do.
I mean, you went without insurance for a while, right? In your life?
I mean, yeah, I went without insurance, but my daughter's never been without insurance.
Yeah. I would bet that he is somehow covered through some random DC insurance clause that covers children or whatever. It's funny because I asked him, because I had Blue Cross Blue Shield and I'm switching over to Kaiser. And I asked him and I said, okay, if they're not covered, I said, am I covered? And he goes, what do you mean? And I was like, I had Blue Cross Blue Shield. I still work here. The life event was that my wife lost her insurance coverage. It's not that I changed my job. I'm switching from Blue Cross Blue Shield to Kaiser. My Kaiser coverage doesn't kick on until the 1st. Did Blue Cross cut my coverage as of the 3rd, the day of the life event? And he goes, that's a good question. I don't know. Let me make some phone calls.
Wow.
Yeah, turns out I do have coverage. He called me back. Like, he did his due diligence calls, but he didn't know. He had no idea. Okay, good.
Listen, I'm having a hard time right now.
I can see that.
I'm in a bed.
I'm collecting obsidian, so no.
Ravine.
Do you need me to be in a bed?
It's real dark out there.
It is real dark out there. Do you need to go get stuff?
I need to go back and get my corpse.
So you lost some stuff that you need.
I died.
But did you lose things that you need?
I mean, yeah. My body's over there.
Hold on. I have a bed on me. I still have a bed on me for my journeys.
Well done.
I'm in.
All right. What does that question mean? Did you lose stuff that you need? What does that mean?
Are you trying within the 5-minute timer that you have shit good to go get your shit
Oh
back?
Yeah, I want my stuff back.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what
it's
it
not
meant.
super fancy or anything, but it's enchanted. At
Yeah.
least, right?
If you said no, I'm not going back after it, it's not worth it, then it's less important for me to try to get into bed right this second.
Right.
Whereas if you said no, I had like blah 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 gear that I need to go get right now, and I have 5 minutes to get it, it's important that I get into bed. You know, I understand things that are important.
I feel real bad about that death.
Why? The creeper doesn't.
Well, yeah, but it could have. I probably should have stopped blocking at that point and just moved. I don't know. I feel like I could have avoided it.
Was it one of those Austin Powers type maneuvers?
No, there's a
Where
skeleton spawner, and I was fighting all the skeletons. So many skeletons. And I was real hurt from all the skeletons, and I was trying to block, and the skeleton kept shooting this creeper at me.
were they making fun of your childhood?
What?
You said you were real hurt from all the skeletons. Were they
Because they
making
were
fun of
shooting me up. No, they shot me real good.
They weren't just telling you that you were a terrible person.
Yeah.
You were ugly. You would never amount to anything. You
I need to have more arrows on me too, probably.
got a shield?
I do. That's the one thing. I was blocking the arrows, but he kept shooting the creeper closer and closer to me, and finally the creeper got too close to me and it blew up, and that's what killed me. Because I couldn't stop blocking, because the skeleton would kill me if I stopped blocking. Yeah, and I was still blocking, but not enough to stop that creeper. I was hoping he'd blow up a little bit further away. I knew it was gonna happen. I just knew it.
I'm trying to get enough obsidian to at least make 2 portals. And this will be close.
I wonder if they ever add creeper spawners to this game.
Good. Well, how would you do that without them blowing it up?
I'm gonna fucking die again.
Do you need assistance?
No. I have my stuff. Don't you shoot me, you dirty man. I just need to heal. I mean, they don't just blow up, right? They could still spawn and spawn and spawn, and they might blow it up. They might not. You know?
I mean, yeah, but if you remember back in the day when taking on a skeleton spawner, like you felt like a god if you succeeded.
A skeleton spawner?
Yeah,
No.
back in the day.
I feel like right now I'm having a harder time than I've ever had, to be honest with you.
Really? You don't feel like back in the day it was so much more difficult to take on a skeleton spawner, and those are the ones that you like avoided during any tense situation because that was no, just me.
I always thought all the spawners were really. Honestly, the only spawners that really scared me was the. Why is there so many creepers keep spawning right here?
Spider spawners are pretty hard to deal with too.
I was gonna say
Just because
the baby
predictable.
spawners. This motherfucker about to repeat.
Oh, baby spiders are still though because they fucking poison you, and that's terrible. I think they're the worst mob added to the game ever. Should be removed.
Silverfish are kind of annoying too.
Yeah,
I guess now I'm thinking about CTMs and stuff too.
but they have such an interesting like mechanic to them that other mobs don't. Like, what's the baby spider have? It can get through one wide blocks just like a baby zombie and poison you, and then you die.
And then you die.
And that's it. That's what it's got. It's like the witch. I'm pretty confident that the witch, like 6 months or a year ago. The witch used to be just the death sentence. They nerfed it.
Yeah, maybe. I got diamond horse armor for your horse.
No, well, nice. I do have a horse here. I'm running back to the base now with 20 obsidian.
Got efficiency 3 book and feather falling book and 2 golden apples. I also got a record.
That's amazing. The only thing I ever wanted. Who wrote it?
Oh, Hans McGee.
Hans McGee.
That
guy.
I'm talking about Daniel.
I don't know who Daniel is,
C4.
but I know C418. So I do have.
I had a nightmare about him holding.
Why?
It was the whole dream was I just couldn't do anything, and he was just in my hands. He was just giggling.
Wait, what? I'm so confused. I feel like you think you've told me the story, and it's possible you did.
Well,
and
don't
I
you
have
remember
no
him being
thinking
my
of-
hands?
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about. I remember you yelling a lot.
God.
I thought that was because you
and
liked
it's
it.
funny. I'm sure, like I watched it back, the whole Slice segment, and like in chat, they were like, "Guude's so mad." I wasn't mad during that. I was honestly just enjoying it, you know. But whenever they fucking penalized me for not stopping cooking, I legit was mad. Like
So,
I was mad.
did you watch the whole segment though? Did you see where the judges defended you before you even got?
Yes, I did.
at
I
that?
did. I did. I also saw everyone talking about how they weren't washing their hands when they were changing their shoes and stuff. I
Yep.
kept thinking the same
Yep.
thing. Yeah. Yeah, watching it back was really enjoyable. Though there were several things that happened watching it back that it's just like so much is missed in that kitchen. Like no one knows a lot of the stuff that we were talking about and doing. Like I honestly feel like, and I'm sure it's like that on the actual cooking shows that are like this. But I feel like we could do it better maybe.
The only thing about the actual it's hard because the actual cooking shows aren't live.
Right.
So I think for being a live show, it was fucking pristine.
Oh no,
but
yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't fantastic.
The actual cooking shows, they can mic in, like all the chefs are mic'd, and they can mic them in when they hear them talk about important things. Whereas we don't have the luxury of that.
Well, no, we were all mic. We all had a lav on.
No, but they can't go back retroactively and be like,
right.
they said something cool here, make sure their audio's up for this. It's
Right.
literally, the people at Pixel Corp were impressive as shit. I don't know how they did it. I don't know if you noticed, but I was wearing a microphone, or a headset for the second session, but not the first one. And it was because I told them that it was really hard for us as judges. They would switch over to somebody else and start listening to you guys because something was happening in the kitchen. But we as judges didn't know that they took our audio off.
Oh, right. Okay.
So because nobody had a headset in, nothing like that. They were hitting the action really fucking well. The problem is nobody who didn't have a headset in knew that they were not on there.
Right. So you guys are like talking to no one. Well, that was the other thing is I guess we all in the kitchen thought that more of our audio was being broadcast because watching it back, like there's one part where I realize, and you guys didn't even hear it either, like for that lasagna dish, Doc had grabbed the meat out of the refrigerator, and I said, "Is that ground beef?" And Doc says, "Yes." And I said, "I need ground beef too. Can I have some of that?" And he says yes. And he gives me half of the tube. And I cook it. I mean, you can't taste it ahead of time. So I cook it. Once it's cooked, I taste it. And it's sausage. It was never ground beef.
Did he know that either?
No. In fact, whenever he told you guys what was in his peppers, he told you it was ground beef. And that shit was not. It was sausage.
Oh, that's actually really funny. We could hear a lot of what you guys said over the wall, like not being mic'd, because we had the TV on very, very low because we didn't want to pick up through the microphones. So we could hear a little bit of what was coming through the TV to know who was mic'd when. That was like the original solution was we will have this thing on so that when this is happening. And then the next day, everybody was like, no, like they need something else because obviously they're not hearing, what's going on. So that's why they gave me a microphone or a headset. It was because it was the way of saying, hey, we can tell you, hey, Jeff, you're on, you're not on. And it actually worked out really well because the cameras would catch a lot of things that we didn't catch. And they would just randomly tell me in my ear, they'd be like, start talking about Andy's dish now, because they were going to Andy's dish with the camera, but they were about to zoom in on like something he was doing. So we didn't really know what was. I didn't know what was happening. They would just tell me to talk about Andy's dish, so I would just change the subject to Andy's dish real quick, and they'd zoom in on something and be like, "Oh, Andy's got blah 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 cooking." Like we had no idea that was happening, but they were fucking. The Pixel Core people were just. They obviously know what the hell they're doing. Like, there's no question about that.
Yeah, it's really impressive, honestly. Like what they're how much they're able to do live. It's But it was funny because like when I watched it back with the whole sausage thing, I'm sitting there in the kitchen going, "This is sausage. This is sausage." After I tasted it, and y'all are like, he thinks it's good. Whatever it is, he likes it. And I wasn't liking it. I was like, it's sausage.
I'm trying to remember.
It wasn't bad. I mean, luckily,
like,
Italian sausage is fine, right? But
yeah. I do remember one thing. You told me that Andy was upset because we graded his one plate down because he had two separate plates.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about it at the time. We didn't mark him down because he had two separate plates, quote unquote. that they were two separate dishes, and we don't mean because they were on two different pieces of flatware.
That's what he thought.
No, it was because they were his one dish was two completely separate things. It was, here is this delicious meal, and by the way, this other thing on the side.
Right. Well, you kind of said that about my dish too, actually, in that round. Because
yours, yeah, but you tied yours together. Pack Rat loved it. Like,
did he?
You probably won because Pack Rat was so excited that you tied it all together by shaping the one thing like a dog bone. And
really? Because I thought that I was so embarrassed of that. I've never been so embarrassed of anything I've ever presented someone food-wise.
In our guest judge Pack Rat's mind, you made that dish a cohesive dish because you made it plate together right.
Oh my God.
Even though they were not flavors that were necessarily like hey, you should put these things together on a plate every night. It was, these don't go together, but you made them work by tying them in with the theme of the dog or the animals.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And when I say that you won because of, I don't mean you won because it was shitty other than that. I mean, I bet you he was a reason you got extra points on a plating section. Because that food was delicious. You rated really high on that dish, but I think he rated you probably, I didn't see his score, but probably top.
Well, he also told me that he gave me extra points for having to use the clam juice, which is funny to me because going into that, Andy, I felt really bad about that whole round because Andy and I basically said going in that we weren't going to hurt each other at all. And then I was on the fence with that whole thing. I was like, as much as I don't want to have any punishment against us, I also don't know how fair that is. And we're already ahead too. But also, I'd really love to just do this whole thing and not without having any punishments. And then, I don't know. I was just second guessing everything basically that whole round. Like, should we do this without going after each other? And should we just go for Doc and Anders?
Absolutely not is the answer I would give you.
Yeah, well, that's what I kept thinking too. And so finally, whenever it kind of came around that the half pan thing, because everything else, Andy had given to Anders or Doc or whatever. I was like, well, I looked around too because I almost gave it to Anders, and I looked around and
but he was done cooking, right?
Yeah, Anders and Doc were both done with their pans, and so I was like, all right, Andy, I give it to you. And he just gave me this look like we had a deal. So whenever he billed the clam juice, I immediately just put my hand up like, all right, give it to me. And apparently that helped me in the end too, according to Pac, because I had to deal with the clam juice.
I was kind of worried what you would do with it, and it was good. It was good, and it wasn't part of the dish. Was the one thing I had a problem with, but it went. You told us it went with one piece of the dish. That it went way better with the other piece.
I think that was crazy too, because I actually tasted with the tuna, because I don't know, I like a little bit of mustard with my tuna sandwich, and so I was like, this would be like the mustard that you get without.
And I think the mustard is what saved it, because I like mustard as well, and mustard overpowered a lot of the clam.
Right.
I'm in a bed again, by the way.
Oh shit, I'm not.
If you're not, I can get out.
Yeah, you should just get out.
But I'm disappointed actually that I did not see Anders become Doc's sous chef.
See, I think that would. I heard you say that to him whenever y'all were judging. I mean, obviously, I watched.
Yeah, I was trying to guide it that way because I think that's where it really should have gone. Anders, he didn't have a chance anymore. He should have realized that, and instead of going for yourself, do something to help whoever you want to help. Which obviously, it would be the Doc and Anders versus Andy and Guude type of situation. Just be like, okay, Doc, I'm not cooking a dish anymore. I am your sous chef. What do you need? I think that would have been fucking hilarious.
It would have been hilarious.
The money's pooled all of a sudden, and it was the only logical thing to do.
Right. I mean, they did pool their money, but yeah, they didn't pool their hands, I guess. Which I don't know if I could do that. I don't know. I'd feel like I wasn't. I don't know. It got weird there at the end, basically, because it became this thing where only Andy and I had enough points to win. Like, we could have not cooked the last dish, and Doc or Anders still couldn't have passed us. So it's kind of weird in that situation, and I guess that's why a lot of cooking shows eliminate players so that you don't run into that.
Oh my god, I'm about to die, and I found out, but I'm getting chased by so many things.
What is happening?
I'm getting chased by so many things, and I have no blocks on my bar. I can't do anything. And I don't have a pick. Give me a pick. I can't do anything. No! I can't do it. I just couldn't switch to things fast enough. I didn't think fast enough. I literally fell down a hole in the middle of 8 zombies fell in after me, and I like lost my mind. I didn't know what to do anymore. Oh my god. Now I do need to get that stuff
Jesus
back.
Christ.
What?
I'm poisoned by a baby spider, and I'm getting shot by a skeleton.
Are you still in a random cave?
Yeah, near our house. I found a pretty good cave.
Because if you can get back to... Where the hell
you need me to
was I?
sleep?
I mean, if you can, it would help, but it's not the end of the world. I just need to get down here.
I can probably get enough string to make a bed. I'm in a place that has string. I don't know how to get out if you're fast enough to come and sleep. Though. You know what I mean?
I should actually be okay. He said, "God, there's this guy's wearing all my armor and my shield and my sword, and this bastard, he just wants my life. That's why he killed me. He wanted my life, my glamorous life. This is my life, bastard."
I'm trying to find diamonds so hard.
Did I get the diamond pick back? Oh yeah, I did. Okay, I think I got everything important from down here in this cave that ends very dramatically. That was terrible. That's terrible. I don't think I've died since like episode 2.
Yeah.
Or 4 or 8 or 20. I don't know I don't know when I died last. I feel like it's been a while.
Yeah, I think it's been a while since either one of us had died, other than me just dying a minute ago.
And mine was literally completely uncalled for. Like you said, you were by yours. I had so many opportunities to stop my own death that I panicked.
Okay, I have a bed now, so if I need to sleep.
Well, it is still night.
You want to sleep?
You can sleep. Like, yeah, I was like 10 feet outside the door of our home. Sleeping.
Oh man, we've been recording for 30 minutes. I didn't even realize it.
Well,
wow.
Well, guys.
In that case, time to go.
See you next time.